What is colophobia? If you said fear of clowns, you wouldn't be wrong. What exactly made them become such commonly feared things in today's age? Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel while we dig deep into this discussion. Clowns. They've had a long history and have been around for as long as people can remember. However, the question that tends to present itself is how long have these clowns haunted our dreams? To find the answer, we must take a look at the history of clowns, how the media portrays them, and of course the psychology, and how that affects the way we see their sinister smiles. The history of clowns tends to be a dark and disturbing one. A good example of this takes place back in Rome. There was a man whom they would call a funny man, and this person's entire job was to mock and impersonate the deceased and their loved ones at the funerals. So, if the deceased was murdered, would that be considered a killing joke? Yeah, too far.
Interesting enough, North America also had its own early version of a clown.
In North Carolina, there was the Cherokee tribe that created disfigured masks. These masks represented evil spirits and were used to act crazy, do crazy dances, fall on the floor, and even go as far as attacking spectators. This dance was known as the booger dance, which was done with the intent to prevent the evil spirits from attacking the growing season. Unfortunately, as time continues, the clown's repetition continues to have things that stack on the fear. One clown, who is more recent and truly had an influence on the negative reputation of clowns, was Pogo, also known as Chicago, Illinois' John Wayne Gacy. Mr. Gacy had become a KFC manager and eventually opened up his own construction business. He utilized this construction company to lure young men into his home, where he would sexually assault, torture, and even murder 33 of them. Unfortunately, because of his alter ego as Pogo the charitable clown, he ultimately had a huge part in plaguing clowning in general. Another thing that plays a huge role on how we view clowns is the media's effect on them. There have been numerous films portraying clowns in a negative light, such as Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Houses of a Thousand Corpses, Poltergeist, and of course I would say the most influential on the current generation, It. This particular movie, or TV series, depending on which version you've seen, was really interesting because it, even though it took the form of a clown, it really wasn't its actual form. One of the reasons this is so interesting is because the monster utilized this form to hide its true identity, which is the exact same thing that happens to a person in real life once they transform into a clown. However, modern media isn't the first to show clowns in a dark manner. Back in 1892, there was an opera called Pagaletti, which is Latin for clowns. Spoiler alert. This opera told a story of a clown who discovers his wife cheating on him, which in turn leads him to murdering her on stage. Not only has media portrayed clowns in a negative light, people have also adopted these negative ideas, leading them to be portrayed in the same stereotypical fashion. This in turn gets more media attention, which then leads to situations like the 2016 American clown craze. This was a situation where people all over the country were dressing up as evil clowns and then intimidating people. This epidemic eventually spread worldwide. Interesting enough, this history and media only do so much to add to the negative stigma that clowns have obtained. Another contributing factor is psychology. You see, naturally as humans, we have a vast range of emotions. When clowns wear masks and makeup that conceals their actual emotions, we feel uncomfortable because it dehumanizes them. This dehumanization may be all fun and games for Pogo the Clown, but it is also a scare tactic that has been used a ton of times throughout the history of warfare. Due to the way that our brains work and history, we naturally feel more comfortable with animals or robots that will look more like people rather than people that dehumanize themselves. The term for this is uncanny valley. And it absolutely makes sense because people are always more comfortable with what they know. As time goes on, more and more people tend to fear these chaotic pranksters. And if history is any proof, this will continue to be an ongoing trend. So with that being said, leave me a comment below telling me what you think the biggest contributor to the fear of clowns is. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe to my channel so you'll get notified when I upload more content. Want to see me in a different light? Check out my gaming channel on Twitch, Fireball McCall. And if you're a fan of my work and would like to support the channel, or you just like to look hip and cool, check out my official clothing line, www.outbreakunleashed.com. I'll put the link in the descriptions below for everything I just mentioned. Thanks again for watching, and I'm going to call this case closed.